When a person claims to love you yet makes you feel as though your existence is an inconvenience they wish would disappear. You are not imagining it. When the one closest to you watches you struggle through exhaustion illness or emotional pain with unsettling indifference or quiet satisfaction, your instincts are recognizing something real. If you feel lighter, safer, and more at peace whenever they are away, your mind and body are trying to protect you. This is not a misunderstanding or rough patch. It is emotional cruelty disguised as affection. If these words resonate with you, it is because a part of you already knows the fear you carry is not irrational. It is your awareness trying to keep you safe. Step. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe because the information ahead may help you break free from confusion and finally understand what has been happening to you. When I say a narcissist wants you gone, I am not referring only to physical harm, although that possibility should never be dismissed. I am speaking about something far quieter, yet often far more destructive. It is the gradual destruction of your emotional, mental, and psychological well being. It happens so subtly and consistently that it can drain your confidence, your health, and your will to keep going without leaving a single visible mark. Blame the narcissist does not need violence to destroy someone. They accomplish it through silence, neglect, manipulation, sabotage, and the steady erosion of your confidence and strength. They carefully protect their public image, making themselves appear caring or innocent while convincing others that you are the problem. Behind closed doors, however, they slowly wear you down until you barely recognize yourself. Plind? The warning signs I am about to describe are not dramatic exaggerations. They are repeated patterns of behavior that reveal deep hostility, hidden beneath the appearance of love. Once you recognize these behaviors, it becomes impossible to ignore what they truly mean. The first warning sign is neglecting or interfering with your health. A narcissist who wants to keep you weak often shows little concern for your physical well being or may even prevent you from getting the care you need. So when you tell them you are in pain, they dismiss your concerns. When you ask to see a doctor, they accuse you of exaggerating. If you mention symptoms that worry you, they laugh, mock you, or quickly change the subject. Bound? Their behavior often goes beyond simple dismissal. They may create conflicts that prevent you from attending medical appointments, forget or refuse to help with prescriptions, criticize you for spending money on treatment, or insist that nothing is wrong with you. Even after you receive professional care, they may question your diagnosis, discourage you. From following medical advice, or create constant stress that makes recovery more difficult. As your condition worsens, they remain emotionally detached or may even seem relieved because your weakness gives them greater control. Your dependence serves their interests, and your suffering makes it easier for them to dominate the relationship. A caring partner offers comfort, support, and protection during illness. Someone who secretly wants to erase you responds with coldness, frustration, or contempt. The second warning sign is financial control. Money represents freedom, security, and the ability to make your own choices. A narcissist understands this and often uses finances as a powerful weapon. They may limit your access to money, interfere with your career, take your income while refusing to contribute, fairly create debt in your name drain shared accounts, or hide financial resources. Every action is designed to make you more dependent and less capable of leaving their control. They will make you beg for basic necessities while freely spending on themselves without hesitation. If you question this unfairness, they will call you selfish, ungrateful, or accuse you of caring too much about money. But the issue is never greed, it is about survival, and they understand that completely. Financial abuse is one of the strongest tools a narcissist uses to maintain control and slowly destroy your confidence. When you cannot afford to leave, you remain trapped. When therapy or support becomes unaffordable, you stay confused and isolated. When you struggle to pay for food, health care, or a safe place to live, your physical and emotional well being begins to decline. They often watch this happen without empathy because your hardship gives them more power. Your dependence becomes the foundation of their control. But if every purchase requires permission, if your spending is constantly criticized, or if you are prevented from earning your own income, you are not simply experiencing financial difficulties. You are being deliberately stripped of your independence. The third warning sign is intentional isolation. A narcissist who wants complete control will slowly separate you from every source of support, comfort, and truth. This process happens gradually, so you may not recognize it until you realize you have no one left to turn to. Plans. It often begins with criticism of your friends or family. They claim your loved ones are toxic, untrustworthy, or trying to interfere in your relationship. They create unnecessary conflict between you and the people who care about you. Mm. They schedule events that prevent you from seeing others, monitor your phone question, your conversations, and become angry whenever you seek support outside the relationship. Over time, you stop reaching out because dealing with the arguments becomes exhausting. You decline invitations, avoid family gatherings, and slowly lose contact with the people who once understood you. This is exactly what they want. Isolation makes you easier to manipulate. It removes people who could recognize the abuse, challenge their behavior, or help you escape land. Once you are alone, they begin reshaping your reality. They convince you that mistreatment is love, that control is protection, and that every problem is somehow your fault. Isolation is never random. It is a carefully planned strategy designed to leave you completely dependent on them. Bland. The fourth warning sign is the intentional destruction of your mental and emotional well being. A narcissist does not simply ignore your emotional pain, they create it, encourage it, and use it to their advantage. They manipulate situations until you question your own memories and judgment. They provoke emotional reactions, then point to those reactions as evidence that you are unstable. They withdraw affection or communication until you become desperate for reassurance, then criticize you for needing comfort. They repeatedly tell you that you are too sensitive, too emotional, or fundamentally flawed. Eventually, they use the emotional wounds they helped create as proof that you are the problem. While you spend sleepless nights replaying conversations, wondering what you did wrong, they move on without concern. As anxiety and self doubt grow, they respond with impatience instead of compassion. Rather than asking how they can help, they ask why you are always struggling. About. Over time, you may begin believing their version of reality. You start questioning your own character, wondering whether you are the toxic one, when in truth you have been conditioned to doubt yourself through constant manipulation. You may begin to wonder whether you are the problem. You may question whether your emotional struggles are the reason life feels so overwhelming. That is exactly what prolonged manipulation is designed to make you believe. The truth is that constant emotional distress rarely appears without a cause. Living in an environment where your experiences are repeatedly denied, your feelings are dismissed, and your worth is constantly attacked can gradually wear down even the strongest person. Uh, Someone who truly loves you does not push you to the dark edge of your emotional limits and then blame you for struggling. A narcissist often does. If these words resonate with your experience, remember that understanding abusive patterns is not about fear. It is about recognizing unhealthy behavior so you can make informed decisions and protect your well being. Memmed. The fifth warning sign is taking satisfaction in your suffering. This can be one of the most painful realities to accept because it challenges everything you believed about the relationship. It means recognizing that the person you trusted may not be supporting you at all, but instead benefiting from your pain. Rather than offering comfort when you are hurting, they may seem emotionally detached or even quietly pleased by your distress. You might notice a slight smile when you cry, a strangely enthusiastic tone when they discuss your mistakes with others, or an unusual sense of energy whenever you are at your lowest point. These reactions feel confusing because they contradict what genuine love looks like. Healthy love encourages healing, growth, and confidence. Narcissistic abuse often depends on the opposite. Your pain strengthens their sense of control. Your self doubt makes you easier to manipulate. Your dependence gives them greater influence over your life. They may resist your recovery because a stronger, more independent version of you is harder to control. If you begin rebuilding your confidence, they may react with criticism, jealousy, or attempts to pull you back into old patterns. Pay close attention to how someone responds when you are struggling. A caring person feels concern and wants to help. Someone focused only on control may respond with indifference, irritation, or hidden satisfaction. Plumda. The sixth warning sign is dangerous neglect, disguised as carelessness. This is often the most difficult behavior to recognize because it can appear accidental. Instead of causing direct harm, they may repeatedly ignore your safety or create situations that place you at unnecessary risk while denying any responsibility. So, they may dismiss serious safety concerns, encourage you to make risky decisions when you are exhausted or unwell, ignore important medical needs, or fail to respond appropriately during emergencies. Whenever something goes wrong, they often insist it was an accident or claim you are overreacting. Blend us on their own. These actions may seem like isolated mistakes. However, repeated patterns of neglect, especially when they involve your health, safety, or well being, should never be ignored. In healthy relationships, people take reasonable steps to protect one another and respond with urgency when someone they care about is in danger. Consistent disregard for your safety is a serious warning sign that deserves careful attention when harm finally occurs, whether through illness, injury, or a frightening close call. They often appear shocked and claim they never realized the situation was serious. They present themselves as caring and concerned while denying any responsibility. Yet, when the same pattern repeats again and again, it becomes difficult to dismiss as simple carelessness. Repeated neglect, especially when it involves your safety, deserves careful attention. If someone consistently ignores obvious risks, dismisses your concerns, or repeatedly fails to protect you when you are vulnerable, your feelings should not be pushed aside. Recognizing these patterns is not about imagining the worst. It is about paying attention to behaviors that may place your well being at risk. Awareness is often the first step toward protecting yourself. And accepting that someone you deeply loved may not have cared for your well being can be incredibly painful. It can leave you questioning your memories, your judgment, and even your sense of self. Yet the fact that you are searching for answers shows something important. A part of you has continued to seek safety, truth, and clarity despite everything you have experienced. That part of you deserves to be trusted. You are not weak for noticing unhealthy behavior. You are not overreacting simply because something feels wrong. Mm. When your mind and body repeatedly signal that a relationship feels unsafe, those feelings deserve thoughtful attention rather than immediate dismissal. Intuition is often built from countless observations your conscious mind has not yet fully processed. And narcissistic abuse does not always involve physical violence. More often, it unfolds through manipulation, control, emotional neglect, and repeated behaviors. Dot that gradually weaken a person's confidence, independence, and sense of identity. Over time, these experiences can leave someone feeling exhausted, confused, and disconnected from who they once were. Lambda. The encouraging truth is that recovery is possible. Many people who have experienced narcissistic abuse eventually rebuild their confidence, reconnect with supportive relationships, and create healthier lives. Recognizing the patterns is the beginning of that process. Once you understand what has been happening, you can start making choices that prioritize your safety, your mental health, and your future. Mayan's healing is rarely quick or easy, but every step toward reclaiming your independence matters. You deserve relationships built on respect, compassion, honesty, and mutual support. You deserve to feel safe, valued, and heard. The strength that helped you survive difficult experiences can also help you build a healthier future. Blend, your story is not defined by the harm you have endured. It is defined by your ability to recognize the truth, protect yourself, and move forward. No matter how long you have lived under manipulation, your future does not have to be controlled by your past. Every step toward healing is proof that your life belongs to you and that your resilience is stronger than the control anyone else tried to hold over you.